Morning. Found our screen. We are here. Oh, nice deep breaths in. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this morning's meditation and the invitation to you as we prepare to meta this field, your field, our fields. So much is happening today, especially Mercury direct. And if you've been in this space long enough with me, you'll know I don't track a ton on the astrology, but when I do, it's because we're all feeling it. And this Mercury direct feels rather significant, especially on the heels of a huge full moon in Aquarius, full moon on the Lion's Gate, lots of big, each of us coming into just this abundance of light energy. And if you were feeling anxious, stress, like a lot's culminating and happening, a little bit of overwhelm today, it's because like the gears have been put in the go motion. And you may still have some of the old field there and kicking and running. And let me tell you, this is going to blast, especially with this Mercury holding this direct position. It's kind of like everything's starting to move in all of this work that you have been up to and culminating for all of 2025, if not for a couple of years now, going back to even April of 2024, a lot of the energy that you were starting to shift and move and look at, especially if you tuned into some of the stuff we did with the Lions Gate, you'll know we've been talking about 2024 of April. So with that, point being, today's energy and any overwhelm or just like the stress, feeling like, okay, I got to get it all here and organized. Today is a perfect opportunity to do that. We're going to organize the field, get it all in and going, and get you set. And Ganesha behind me here over my left shoulder is going to help us do that. So important, the role Ganesha plays, really the organizer, orchestrator of the subconscious and the excess. I'm going to give a little bit of a story to cue us up. You can close your eyes. Actually, I'd appreciate if you close your eyes and just start your light link. You get to do the work as I give us our data points for today's container. So start, bringing in the golden light. When I drop in and I'm complete with the story, I want to drop in and feel each of you having like, okay, the field's ready to go. I'll kind of be doing it in the back of my mind as well. But it was fascinating. One of our clients earlier in the week, uh, she's been tracking a lot with elephants and tigers, and which, for those of you who are familiar with Durga, can appreciate the tiger. And so Durga is all about the boundaries, right? Holding those emotional boundaries. And the elephant is all about overwhelm in the subconscious, right? And carrying, processing, consuming too much of everyone else's crap, everyone else's emotional baggage. So when we are trying to take on too much of our partner or someone else's stuff, it inflates us, it inflates our field. And that is that field of Ganesh. And so Durga can show up to help us with holding boundaries, right? And being that tiger, being that lioness, and saying, this is healthy, this is not, right? So I didn't, the two can interplay. I hadn't realized until this past week that they had interplayed in my life as well. But what had consistently always carried forward with me is anytime Ganesh shows up, um, is this line I learned from it was actually my first dream, the first time a god, in this case, had ever visited me. And it was this incredible dream of walking down a temple and seeing a massive Ganesh elephant-like figure and delivering, um, oddly enough, a squash to this figure with without anything. It was just the husk of the squash. There was no meat. There was nothing in it, and being kicked out of the temple. and then just being in tears and all of these things. But I'm not going to go through all the iterations of how I figured out the message. But once, after sitting it with it for several days, I finally heard the statement from the God, which I figured out was Ganesh, and it was the spiritual. So I want everyone now to take a deep breath in. Good job on getting your light links. I'm going to speak the statement. The spiritual abundance is in the emotional sustenance. The spiritual abundance is in the emotional sustenance. Go ahead and feel that one more time. And this time, as you do, I want to invite you to feel yourself and your light link. And then I want you to feel yourself floating on the ocean. All right. And we've got a like an inner tube around us. So we're floating. And if you want to be swimming, that's fine too. Actually, some of you are really good at swimming. So you can swim, you can be treading water, but it might be more enjoyable to be floating and holding like, some nice rum coconut flavored drink if that sounds fun also. Key being the lower half of your body from about shoulders down is immersed in the water. Feeling that sunshine from above and feeling the rest of the water beneath you. All right. We've got our light link complete. The spiritual abundance is in the emotional sustenance. Now we're going to do a check on this statement because ultimately, what we're feeding Ganesha in that temple, Ganesha wants the good stuff. So we're going to check how good is that energy that you're delivering and holding in the field. And in this moment, what I want you to do is envision allowing that field to drain out whatever is like, how do I want it? I'm going to try and phrase this appropriately. And I'm just looking for the metaphor. We're just going to let the ocean like drain itself. So, whatever is yours, whatever is quality, meaning like that's what Ganesh really values, like the energy that is yours and appropriate for you to be holding on to, meaning you're not holding it because you're supposed to, you're not holding it because you should, you're not holding it out of manipulation. None of us do that, right? You're not holding it out of any of the reasons that are, so many of us are empathic, right? And so we do it out of the goodness of our hearts, but it may not be in our own personal, like, soul's developmental best path, right? So, like, this is a non-judgment space. So, what I want you to do now is just like, it's kind of like you're maybe cutting fruit or whatever, or like trying to get to like that perfect part as you're sous chefing. It's like you end up, or it's like juicing. I've got my carrot juice here, and like I end up having like a tiny little quarter cup of juice, and like all of this excess crap that ends up getting like a bag full, an entire Publix produce bag full of debris that gets thrown out or should be composted, but I don't have a good composter. I live in South Florida and that's a challenge. So there you go. All that has to go out and be recycled and not by me, right? It's the juice that like is that tiny quarter cup. So drain your fields right here and now. And what is meant to stay for you and what is meant to go out of the field. And just observe that. And are you left in an ocean? Or is it this tiny little like kiddie pool of energy that's yours? Like I feel like everybody just got popped into a kiddie pool with like this perfect little stream, or maybe everybody got popped into um, a river of luminescent flow and light. It's definitely a shift, right? And that river is not coming from those we love. We went from ocean to river. Our fields drained. Can everyone feel that? So I want to have us come back to Ganesh, because what feels real and true in this moment is Ganesh is almost like Ganesh consumed that abundance, that excess. Ganesh recycled. Ganesh wants the abundance, the overflow, but not the overflow because we don't have it to give. Ganesh wants it because it's there, and because we are naturally filling our own cup first with that of the proper source. And that proper source is that of the Divine Mother. So if you didn't make a natural transition to like a river flowing through, or a current within the ocean, or feel yourself just land in a column of light, or being held in just a flow, a current, or being transported into another dimension, and you felt like you just sank to the bottom of the ocean like a rock, because the entire ocean went splat and now you're in just darkness and goop down at the bottom, then dig through that goop. Dig through that until you find a little nugget of gold. Pop through that vessel down there. Actually, everybody can go take a look and see, and dig until you find a well at the bottom. Because that goop and that junk down at the bottom is everyone else's stuff that's telling you that you don't deserve to be connected, or that you should be managing their field instead of self-sourcing your own field. And if we can self-source our own field, then their field becomes the abundance that feeds Ganesh. And therein, the spiritual abundance comes from our own emotional sustenance. And so let's take a break here and just allow yourself. We're going to shift. That was our intro. We're going to shift for a moment. I don't usually do this, but it feels appropriate because I said we were going to queue up. That was today's version of the light link. But as we prepare to go forward, we just cleared out in so many ways that field. And as you feel that deep energy, as we pop through that lower field where that goop and that gunk maybe is, if you didn't get it coming on board, and even if you felt that river right away, like dig down to the bottom of the bed of the riverbed, even in the riverbed, like swim down and find another layer, another current. There's more down there in that riverbed, flowing, streaming like a cable of gold, a cable of luminescent light. Dig it and grab it, hold on to it, bring it up into your system. And as you do, allow yourself play here to let this light stream into your field. Kind of like it takes me back to childhood on a sunny day and running in the sprinklers. Hot summer day and the sprinklers on and grass in the yard and just running back and forth through the sprinklers and the sound of the sprinklers. Just play, 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 play. Can't play enough. In that play allows for us to stretch our etheric bodies. So, our etheric bodies, go ahead and feel through them. I always like to focus, there's there's a lot of them, but focus primarily on seven. So, as though you're wearing like a magic suit, seven different layers of a habit field, like Russian nesting dolls. And imagine filling these different layers up with that sprinkler. Like my kids used to do this as you go to the fountains, like at the, in the middle of a city center, and there'll be those fountains that pop up and do all different kinds of fancy patterns with the water and everything. And in the summer, they're fun to, especially for kids, to go play at as well and stand on and run through and all the things. So imagining now this channel of energy that you found is able to come and fill your etheric energy fields like Russian nesting dolls, filling one and then allowing it to fill the next. But the way it's coming up and through your system, feeling it coming up and through the tail, as though it's filling first the DNA, imagining one massive DNA helix, like a spiral, like the sprinkler coming up and through the center of your field. Sprinklering on and through. And as that sprinkler continues to go, it fills the first layer, expanding it out. And then the next layer two, you're going to be a nice big blown up water balloon by the time we're done. And then layer three, you're going to be like one of the giant, keep going. We're going to get really big, like one of the floats for the Thanksgiving Day parade. Layer four, keep going. You've got some growing to do. We're only going to seven. So however big you're letting yourself become, you at least were going for that big in your human construct, maybe even cosmically big. That could be too small. Layer five, maybe we should be reaching for the stars. Yeah, let's go for like cosmic tree of life. Let that sprinkler keep turning. Layer six. I feel like for this now, the earth should be spinning in your heart. There we go. Maybe even the cosmos now spinning in your heart as we go to layer seven. That feels good. How's that for a light link? Well done, team. Spiritual abundance is in the emotional sustenance. Well done, Ganesha. All right. And now we are opened. We are massive. I love it. All right. We're bringing it back. But the way we're going to bring it back is we're going to invert it. So everyone has an inverter at the back of your spine. And we have this nice, big, beautiful field. at the back of your spine, kind of right behind the kidneys, your third chakra. It's called the hara. And on either side of the hara, just above it, above the kidneys, below the heart, and at the base of the root chakra, you could think of it as like two knots that have tied the piece of candy together on either side. And I want you to like think of untying the candy knots. So go ahead and untwist those, untwist the candy. Just like my kids are like super into the Werther's Original right now. So just untie those Werther's Original and let all of that Werther's goo, like where you're still holding your big self, but you're coming into the body. We're doing a little etheric or multidimensional. We're creating some dimensional coherence right now. You guys are holding several dimensions as we're working. Open that Werther's Original and let all of that golden light stream now from the center of your belly up to the top of your head, down through the bottom of your feet. So what's cool about this is what you're actually doing, you're working two dimensions simultaneously. If you imagine, this is so trippy, and don't try and fit this into something your brain can understand. But that Werther's Original field is working the white portion of a yin yang. Okay. Your big cosmic version is in the black portion of the yin yang. And we're going to flip the two fields. You're going to like, the yin yang, the white portion has the black dot and the black portion has the white dot. And you're going to fold those over and pull them like a sock inside out through each other. That's actually why the white and the black dot are where they are, because one's like peeking through the other side. And so you don't really, this is the inverter that you hold inside of you. You've untwisted the knots, you've opened the lock so that this can happen. And all you have to do is just imagine reaching your hand in a sock and grabbing the black fields, like down at the bottom of the sock, and popping it through. It's really that simple. Don't think about connecting all of those dots. Your super conscious knows how to do this. Pop her in and through. Just think about grabbing the cosmos and popping it into your body. Nice deep breaths. And in the process of it, you may feel like you become Ganesha or other god for a moment. It's all good. You may feel like in your physical form you explode or become a golden being. Not quite sure, but it's really beautiful and feels amazing. Nice deep breaths in. We just gave all of the commands, helping your body expand into this. All right, everybody just slipped into the driver's seat of your new dimension, feeling into the mind. Mercury is direct, so you are seated in the driver's seat of your mind with the energy field to match. I bet if you were to try to feel the ocean right now, yeah, can't feel it. Long gone. Actually, we're in a whole new snow globe. If you imagine yourself and where we had been, being in a snow globe, we just entered a new field. You guys just lift and shift, lift and shift. You entered and accessed the whole new fields. That's what that current and grabbing down into the current and grabbing that other stream did for you. So here we are, onboarded and activated. Good stuff. Brilliant work. All in. Wow. Nice. Under 30 minutes. Not bad. I'm gonna say that was like 27. Number 9, completion. We did it with a little bit of carrot juice to spare. Love you guys. Bring yourselves back. You have some water or some carrot juice. Take a sip. Roll the shoulders. Pat yourself on the back. Roll the neck. Roll the ankles. Wiggle the toes. If you don't have a Ganesh, maybe go find yourself a Ganesh statue or a book or pull it up on your phone. Ganesh is our master of spiritual abundance. I have actually all my Ganeshas have been given to me. So consider this. I just gave you your first Ganesh if you don't have one. Love our Ganeshas. Love, 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 love our Ganeshas. Again, Ganesha represents, I'm going to let you keep wiggling yourself back into your body as you come back. Ganesha represents overcomer of hurdles and blocks. It breaks down those walls of abundance. The wall we just broke through was the void of illusion. That was a big one, really big, really good, which means that super easy to overcome the hurdles. So I will repeat that statement one more time. Spiritual abundance is in the emotional sustenance. And to complete my story, what was fascinating is that I pulled up my dream notes. Again, it took me about 3 days to overcome or to like get through like all of the links in the dream, and I'm pulling up the notes. So cool. There had also been a lizard and a tiger in the dream, which I had totally forgotten about. I did not know who Durga was. There she was. She had also been in the dream. So that was an epic nugget and like actually makes me want to cry. Really, really powerful because at the time I did not know the Divine Mother. I did not know the goddess. And yet, um, wow, actually Durga had been with me all along. So that feels special. Super cool. She's always there and she's tracking with us. And so add her to our list of who's here today and who's working with us as we're rocking our metas. Good stuff. God, I love the days when I don't know what we're going to do and it just explodes. So much magic always coming through. You guys are amazing. Thank you for coming in and making this as magical and special as it always is. So much love. Namaste. I will see most of you that are here live later today. And for those of you, otherwise, I'll see you next